Oh, hey guys. That's so cool. I was just about to start talking. Anyway, okay. Sorry guys. Sorry. I apologize. I'm crazy. Get over it. So today I'm going to talk about the zodiac and continue on. I talked about Aries and Taurus and Gemini and Cancer. Now I'm going to continue. As you remember, each sign is ruled by a planet, and they go in order, the same order of the planets as they do the zodiac, but they kind of go back and forth. And each sign is either fire, earth, air, water, or, yeah, so fire, earth, air, water. And it's also each sign is either cardinal, fixed, or mutable. So you could have, just choose one element and then mix an element with the quality. So if you choose fire and fixed, you would get Leo. And there's 3 qualities and 4 elements. 3 times 4 is 12, and there's 12 signs of the zodiac. This is really important. You could be someone that's fiery, but if you don't know the quality, then you don't know how they use that fire. So I'm just going to connect every element with one word and every quality with one word. Fire would be, well, fire is the spirit. Oh, I know like a lot of fiery people tend to be religious in a way, but they're not always religious, but that is one way that they can take that energy and connect to the world. But fiery people are physical, and I don't mean material, because in astrology there's a very big difference, because earth is material, fire is physical. By physical, they like movement. They like to use their bodies and move them, and that's a fire sign. So fixed, and then earth is physical, or material. It is the tangible things. They like tangibility. So people that are connected with earth, I like food. Food. Oh, cold. Anyway. It's really good ice cream. And then air people are more mental. Fire is spirit. Earth is your body. Air is your mind. And water is your soul. And this kind of imparts abilities to each sign or each person. And you could kind of say that, everyone has their own use or reason to live behind what they do, whatever. And so Aries is fire. And so is Leo, and so is Sagittarius. Each one of these signs has each quality. Aries is cardinal, Leo is fixed, and Sagittarius is mutable. In this case, it goes in an order. From the start of the zodiac is Aries, the middle of the zodiac-ish is Leo, and then Sagittarius is at the end. It goes in the order of cardinal, fixed, mutable. Cardinal starts seasons. Aries is born at the start of the season. Spring. Leo is born in the middle of summer. Sagittarius is born at the end of fall or autumn. And Aries is an initiator. That's what makes cardinal signs initiative. And and fire and cardinal kind of mix really well. They're both initiators, so that makes them double initiator. And Leo is fixed, so that makes them stubborn, in a sense. But then you mix that fixed quality, like a rock, with fire. And what is like a rock and fire? What do you think of in this galaxy that isn't moving and it's fire? The sun. The sun rules Leo. Leo is a lot like the sun. You can make so many generalizations. And Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is red, and Aries is very red. And Aries rules blood and the head. And fire signs rule vital organs. So Aries rules the head, which is very vital because it has the brain. Leo rules the heart and the spine. I think the heart and spine are pretty important. And Sagittarius rules muscles. I mean, it's less important. But Sagittarius rules muscles and the movement of blood. And Sagittarius is mutable. Mutable is kind of like water. Water and fire together kind of makes blood. Because blood gives us energy, but it's still watery. Other signs rule blood, but in different ways. And it makes sense with their element and quality. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini is a communicative sign. And it rules arms. Libra rules the kidneys and the buttocks. And it makes sense because it's like the middle of the body. It's not really, I mean, there's a lot more important stuff on the top. But Libra is the 7th sign. It's literally, Libra is the opposite side of Aries. And I'll go on to more about opposites, but every opposite sign, if you take one sign and look at the opposite, it's the same quality. Which means if the sign that you're looking at is the start of a season, the other opposite sign will be the start of the opposite season. So spring is opposite fall. Summer is opposite winter. Aries is opposite Libra. Cancer is opposite Capricorn. Those are the 4 cardinal signs that start each season. Now they start each season in different ways. Aries starts spring, and it's fire. Spring is like springing to life, and Aries is just like fire, starting things. Cancer is water. Everyone goes to the beach during Cancer. I mean, in the northern hemisphere, you know, in the sun, summer, whatever, but it makes sense. Libra is the start of fall. Libra is kind of like, okay, so we started spring and the days were long and we had a fun summer. Well, we gotta balance stuff out now because the days are starting to get shorter. Like, Aries and Libra are both balanced days. The start of both are like the equal days. The start of Aries is the spring equinox, which is equal days and nights. The start of Libra is equal days and nights, but it's when days start to get shorter, and Aries are when days start to get longer. Libras want to balance everything out because they're like, oh no, the days are getting shorter. I have to find balance in this. I really need to focus and be like, okay. Aries are kind of like, yeah, let's start things. They don't really think. Libras are more, they just need to find balance. And I mean, I'm not saying that they're very logical because they can kind of go back and forth and they can go to extremes because they're an air sign and air signs tend to do that. And air signs just want to communicate. And Aries is also very selfish in a way. It's kind of a good selfish. It's like, yes, I'm learning how to be selfish in a healthy way. And then you meet someone with, if you're looking at people, for example, things can technically have elements and signs associated with them, but people are way more, you know, they incorporate into personalities. So you meet an Aries and they're very me first, it's selfish and initiative for themselves, and they say, I am. Or you meet a Libra and they say, we are. And they're more about 2 things. It's like the other half of a coin. Librans aren't necessarily about the group of people, they're about one-on-one relationships. And then you move on to the second fire sign, which is Leo. And Leo is very me first too, but it's more about the ego of the person, the pride of a person. It could be proud of other people, but ultimately that person feels pride themselves. So Leos ruled by the sun. So if the sun is in Leo, which means you would be a Leo, that is it would be considered good. It's natural for the sun to be in Leo. It feels happy. The ego feels happy. The sun rules the ego. Everyone has an ego, but when you're a Leo, your ego feels centered. And then the opposite sign of Leo is Aquarius. Now, when you have the sun in an opposite sign, in this situation it would be falling. The sun isn't very comfortable in Aquarius because Aquarius is all about other people. If you could take one personality and put it into like a cool group of people, Aquarius might be happier. But we can't do that, so we don't know. So yeah, another fire sign that's about me first. And then you take the opposite sign, it's an air sign, and it's about other people. Not necessarily other people, but a group of people. You take the third fire sign, which is Sagittarius. And it's very my idea focused, kind of in a sense. It's philosophical. And then you kind of take Gemini, it's the opposite. And the Gemini's kind of like, you know, you're philosophical, but why don't we talk about facts? I want to know facts. And the only facts we can know are small. Let's go little details. That's fine. Let's go everywhere from every little detail. Now, every sign has something in common. Aries and Libra, opposites, they initiate things. Leo and Aquarius, they are proud of what they do, and they continue things, and they don't stop. And Sagittarius and Gemini, which are mutable signs, they are kind of scattered all over the place. And they're both idea people. They kind of two sides of a coin again, each opposite sign. Now, on to the summer months. Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Cancer is very focused on the home. We get to that, the fourth sign is zodiac, and the first sign is focused on entering the world and being aware of itself and just being excited about the start of life. Taurus is about starting to continue life, reacting to the physical world. Gemini is about having ideas about how you relate to the world and actually communicating with it back and forth and kind of having that symbiotic relationship. And Cancer is like taking that symbiosis learning about emotions and kind of reacting like a baby crying, and then a mother having a good relationship, a secure relationship with that. You can have an insecure relationship, which would not be very Cancer wouldn't be happy in an insecure relationship. And then Cancers are actually the most secure sign, and they're about the home. And Capricorn is the insecure sign. It's anxious. And it's very focused on a career. It takes all of its energy and focuses on a career. Cancer's kind of more well-rounded. Cancer is another cardinal sign, but it's the evolved form of the cardinal sign Aries. So Cancer really understands selfishness in a very positive way. Like, they've evolved that selfishness. And then the opposite side of Cancer, Capricorn. They're selfish, but they don't know how to find that good balance between home life and career. They'd rather focus all that energy. They're very complex. Cancers are very simple. Capricorns are complex. And along this, like, from Aries to Pisces, you get more and more and more complex. I mean, in different ways. Like, Aries are pretty intelligent. I'm not saying they're simple. They're very intelligent. They have quick minds. They may not be able to focus on things. They can't take abstract concept and put them all together necessarily. They're not that kind of creative. They're creative in a snap decision kind of way. Then you get to Libra, and they're creative in a different way. They're creative when mixing two opposite energies together. Aries can't do that. Aries can only come from one point. Libra takes things from two opposite points and connects them. In one situation, it might connect night and day and understand the difference between them, and then find a good balance between those. They're creative with their surroundings. They like to make things beautiful. Aries isn't really about beauty. In this lifetime, anyway. I don't know if I'm getting the point, but I'm hoping I am. Basically, that's really a basic thing about the zodiac. And not only is there elements and qualities, there's also planets. And yeah. There's two signs are ruled over by one planet. And then some signs have an extra planet. And it makes sense. So, I haven't really talked much about Virgo. Virgo and Pisces are opposite. Virgo actually is the sixth sign of zodiac, so it actually ends the first 6 signs, and Pisces ends all the 12 signs. They're very much about endings, and they're very much about details. Virgo is in the physical sense, and in the day-to-day life, and Pisces is in the ethereal sense. Virgo is very much in reality and the details. Pisces is much more about the bigger picture and illusions. Virgo is sobriety. Pisces is drunkenness. Now, they both are liable to be alcoholics, actually, in different ways. Pisces is more liable to handle it well because they understand that kind of world. Virgo's, there's a lot of instability here, I find. But that's just because of, like, you know, a Pisces being so, like, creative and not in the real world, and a Virgo being so too much in that world, There needs to be balance. So you can learn a lot from your opposite sign, basically, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I think I said some more stuff now. And that's everything I'm going to talk about today.